Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back with another brand new video. Today's video, or looking at the time, tonight's video, we are here as always to break down, react and discuss the latest Rangers game. A Rangers game that saw us go to Easter Road and have a couple of Hibs players laughing about the place, but when the full-time whistle went, we came away with all 3 points, and the only person that was laughing was Alfredo frickin' Morelos. And you know what's funny, ladies and gentlemen, before we carry on with today's video, can we just take a wee second of silence just to open up the old ears and just listen for a second? Do you hear that? That's folk greeting about Alfredo Morelos. It's beautiful, people. It's absolutely beautiful. But there is a lot to break down. There is a lot to discuss from the game of football because once again, a game versus Hibs is never ever dull. I wish it was a whitewash sort of smashing easy game of football for Rangers, but it wasn't once again. But that's what we've came to expect now going to Easter Road. It was only Steven Gerrard's second win at Hibs, but if you go back and you look at some of the performances, those numbers should be greatly in our favour. But we got the job done today, ladies and gentlemen, and that is all that matters. Gone there, getting another 3 points in the bank and keeping yet another clean sheet. This Rangers team is nothing short of absolutely special. But before we go any further on with today's video and speak about the many incidents that we need to break down, as always, a bit of a cheap plug, but if you enjoy the channel, why not help the channel out by hitting that subscribe button? It's free, doesn't cost you a penny, and it just helps me and thee on our way to hopefully one day reaching the channel dream of 55k. But as it is so late at night and there is genuinely so much to break down and discuss, let's just dive right into the game recap then, shall we? And first of all, we can't start anywhere else than referencing and talking about this park that we played on at Easter Road. Honestly, I've seen more grass on Phil Mitchell's head than I've seen on that part today. Bogging, man, absolutely bogging. The middle of the park was pretty much a no-go zone, and that isn't just for Rangers either, that's for Rangers and Hibs. Players were falling away of the place, people couldn't run, they couldn't turn sharply. When the ball was rolling on it, it was like that, like Scotty Too Hotty just before he goes ahead and drops the worm. It was brutal to watch the middle of that park, but something that wasn't brutal to watch was the starting 11 going into this Rangers team. And I'm smiling here because Ryan Jack was back into the starting 11, and you know what happens when Ryan Jack plays, ladies and gentlemen? We just don't concede goals, because every time he's played in the league this season, we haven't conceded a goal. 100% clean sheet ratio for your man Ryan Jack. And speaking clean sheets, a man who had a great impact in this game especially was Hollander, who once again kept his place in the starting 11. And I know that's always a discussion point for a lot of people, but if you watch this channel, I've said it once, I've said it a million times, Hollander and Goldson is the padlock for me. Absolutely love them working with each other, and I love the wee fact as well that still to this day, when Hollander has played in the league for Rangers, we haven't lost a game. And I wanted to mention them two especially because I think seeing them two come in the starting 11 told you everything you needed to know and how Steven Gerrard viewed this game, because it wasn't as attacking and free-flowing and going forward, piling the people in the box like it was versus Ross County. This was a game and Steven Gerrard knew it was a tough test. Easter Road always is, and I think how he lined up certainly reflected that. But did it negatively affect their fast start? I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, I thought we started this game brilliantly. We were getting forward, we were pinging passes about, we were on the front foot. Exactly what we wanted going to Easter Road. It was just unfortunate we couldn't make that clear-cut opportunity in the first 9 or so minutes of this game when we were clearly on top. Tavernier had a couple of good crosses in, Barisic had one good one in, and it just wasn't quite clicking just yet. But again, it was a positive start. But we mentioned Hollander about 30 seconds ago, and I wanted to mention him especially for this as well, because in the 10th minute of the game, Hibs get the ball forward, kind of against the run of play, goes to Nisbet down the left-hand side, he whips in a low-driven cross, which we all know, watching Rangers this season, has been our Achilles heel. But your man Philippe Hollander reads it perfectly. He's no sitting, he doesn't stare at the ball, he doesn't miss the ball, he reads it to perfection. And yes, the Hibs player gets it, but who's there to meet him? Hollander. And that was big right there, and that was one of his 2 big moments that he had in the game, to be at the right place at the right time And that is what the big Swede brings you. And I think that attack from Hibs in the following corner just sprinkled even more gasoline on the old fire for Rangers, because we started going forward, we started to nip at their heels, and that's nearly how we took the breakthrough in the 12th minute of this game. After they get slack at the back, we read it very well. Joe Aribo is in behind the defence, has a shot which is easily saved by Rocky Marciano. Now I think every single person who's currently watching today's video knows the next talking point involving Alfredo Morelos, but before we speak about the big incident that had montages and slow-mo, before we get there though, I do want to say Ryan Porteous dove off the ground recklessly to get stuck into Ryan Kent, which nearly broke him in half like a biscuit. By the way, thankfully Ryan Kent clocked that the big hammer thrower was coming and jumped at it, or that could have been very, very serious for your man Ryan Kent. And Ryan Porteous had a wee nibble at Alfredo Morelos before that incident. I know some people might be shocked because that's not getting reported, but when Morelos was on the ground, Porteous fired the bottom, so you knew it was game on in terms of defender and Alfredo Morelos. Which I'm telling you, by the way, because it's important context to tell you how hot this game was actually getting, and people's tempers were starting to flare just 15 minutes into this game, and that's why just 6 minutes later you saw the incident that's been blasted all over the place, which involved Porteous and Alfredo Morelos. Surprised that they two are going at it. Honestly, it's Scott McKenna and Morelos 2.0, and the way that actually breaks down is they come together at the edge of the box. Alfredo Morelos clearly is too strong for the laddie. The laddie's on the ground, there's a wee bit of a tussle, and then Alfredo Morelos stamps on him, leaving him and getting him back for his previous two incidents. Is it silly? Absolutely. Is it a red card? If the referee sees it, for me, he's getting sent off the park all day long, and some Rangers fans may go after me for saying that, but I just think it's silly and needless for Alfredo. They understand why he's done it, because he's trying to back up his teammates and leave one on someone that's given it to him. Aye, he always plays on that edge, but again, it could have cost us badly in this game, so there is frustration there. But what I do find absolutely shambolic, ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm not excusing the challenge by any means necessary or anything like that, but the difference in reporting in that incident, in which he was witch hunted the rest of the game, half-time, the entire show was basically that. Honestly, they were showing countless replay after replay. I'm pretty sure Kate Winslet and Leo DiCaprio was in the back in one of the highlights, just holding their arms out like this. It was got to a pathetic stage of witch hunting, and especially in the same game there was a stamp incident involving McGregor and Glenn Kamara. Now, I seen Andy Walker trying to excuse this and say he doesn't mean it. Then why does he throw Glenn Kamara onto the ground when the ball and both players are at the park in the first place? There's no need for that. He throws him on the deck and then he steps on him. If you didn't believe me, that's the challenge right there. But that's where my frustration is, because the difference in reporting and the way it's getting said is absolutely disgusting. Now, am I expecting Alfredo Morelos to get a retrospective ban for this? Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. I'm fully expecting the compliance officer to get back off furlough, open up the wee laptop, go to Google, type in Zoom, sign in where the password was Frimpong was here, then invite Alfredo and invite Rangers to accept a ban for the next couple of games. I'm fully expecting that now, ladies and gentlemen. Hell, I should be, because that's all they spoke about throughout the entire game. But I just find the difference in reporting really, really laughable, and something needs to be said about it, man. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That wasn't the only talking point in the game. There was actually plenty of other football that was played, and that's what I want to spend the rest of the video actually talking about, because it's got to be said, despite our bright start and a couple of clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities, one from Joe Aribo, after that incident with Alfredo Morelos, we sort of lost our spark and started to get just a little bit too pedestrian, too side-by-side, and Hibs, I think, sensed that and started to come forward a wee bit more, and the next opportunity in the game actually fell to them as Cadden whipped in a dangerous ball when it nearly catches Alan McGregor out, who does get a hand in, pushes it away, and he has got control of the ball, or one touch on the ball when it does get moved away from him, and it should be a foul in that incident, but the ref misses that one and Hibs play on. They pass it inside the 6-yard box, but the Hibs player thankfully balloons it a mile air the bar. That was well and truly a warning sign for this Rangers team to wake up. But honestly, it didn't really happen. I think if you're looking for a perfect example of what that first half was, you just look at Stephen Davis's performance. Usually Mr. Ever consistent with his passes and all that. He was surprisingly so far off the boil, and that for me summarised the first half. But thankfully, ladies and gentlemen, the start of the second half was a complete and utter different Rangers side. And I'm pretty sure Steven Gerrard's half-time talk would have had a lot today with that one, because we just came out so positive, so direct, getting stuck in. And that is why just 5 minutes after the second half started, we took the lead in this game of football. And it's brilliant work where we came close a couple minutes before that eventually fell to Stephen Davis inside the box, but he chose to pass outside the box, which was frustrating. But it showed us we were starting to get our passing going, and again in the 50th minute it clicked very, very well as Tavernier, Ryan Jack down the right hand side, Davis is involved, they give it to Glenn Kamara, who passes to Joe Aribo, who's got a man on him. And what Joe Aribo does here, by the way, I know he can sometimes frustrate and everything like that, but that is nothing but utter class from Joe Aribo. He makes that goal. It's a fantastic first time outside of the pass, little kiss inside the box as he puts on a plate for Alfredo Morelos, who's one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and Alfredo Morelos puts it in to the back of the net. And you knew it soon as it fell to him in that exact moment, given what happened in the first half, given the tears that was done on commentary. You knew for a fact he was putting that ball in the back of the net. And what I find so damn funny, ladies and gentlemen, is as that ball was trickling by that line, it didn't even hit the net yet, Andy Walker had already said, Alfredo Morelos, who should be sent off, greeting. And it was glorious. What a finish, what a move, and we were deservedly 1-0 up. Now, what's crazy to think about, they're greeting now about Alfredo Morelos, but I'll tell you something right now, he should have finished this game with a hat-trick, because 2 minutes later, after taking the lead in the game, the ball gets put down the left-hand side, Barisic whips in a beautiful ball into the box. It's kissed once again by Joe Aribo with the outside of the foot, his back post. It's a tap-in for Alfredo Morelos, but he balloons it air the bar, which had me gone, no. Then I seen the replay back and I did see it did bounce right here, and it is a tricky one to actually put in. So I'll give him a little bit of slack there, because the surface was a disgrace and it bounced about 7 yards up on him at the last second. So maybe I'm being too lenient on Alfredo Morelos there. It did look really bad the first time I see it, but I didn't think I'm out of order saying it took an absolute horrendous bounce. I'm being too nice, innit? I feel it. But where I'm maybe being too nice and too lenient on Alfredo Morelos with that chance, I can't be in the next one, because Ryan Kent, oh my god, this is absolutely gorgeous. He skips by one, he skips by two, he cuts inside, the little shimmy as we like to call it here, he chips a ball in behind the defence. Alfredo Morelos has so much time to get the ball down and run and get a shot off, but it's like his batteries ran out, man. He's just staring at the ball. He waits too long. Hibs recover very well from Gogic, which I believe who gets back and puts in the challenge in there. It's a good defensive recovery from Hibs, but looking at it from a Rangers perspective, Morelos had so much time to just get a shot off, but he dallied, and the chance was gone. And I think the longer the game went on, the better Ryan Kent got in the game. Now, I know he was getting flack online, but people, I mean, they just loved to absolutely roast that boy, didn't they? But I thought the longer the game went on, the more important he became. And just 10 minutes after him creating what should have been an assist for Alfredo Morelos, he was involved heavily again as the ball gets worked down the left-hand side. Roof, who's now on at this point for Morelos, passes it to him at the outside of the box. He strikes it cleanly, but it's once again well saved by Marciano. And you're thinking to yourself, I've seen this story before. Rangers creating countless opportunities at Easter Road, playing well, but no getting the second and final goal in the game. We all know what happens next. But, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what isn't getting talked about, and this is what really pisses me off, because you look at the last 15 minutes of this game, this is what should be getting spoke about, because Rangers once again gave them none in the game. Defensively, absolutely spot on. If anything, the only other chances that kind of fell in the game was our attacking ones, and I just find that so damn fascinating, so worth talking about, but no one wants to talk about that. They want to talk about this incident and this guy laughing, because laughing's cool now. Ken, what else is cool? Leaving with 0 points, mate. Laugh on that. For me, what's getting lost from all these bitter pundits and everything like that is the way Rangers are able to see out games, ladies and gentlemen, because the only thing I can think of from a Hibs perspective was they whipped in one dangerous cross in the 88th minute where, once again, Helander was right place, right time. He started the game off being right place, right time. He finished it. And that was it from a Hibs attacking perspective. We didn't look like conceding once, and that's incredible. And before I wrap up today's video and before I wrap up the actual game recap, I do want to mention Zungu, who came on. He was brilliant, he was sharp, he was all over the place, he was winning vital interceptions, he was getting stuck in, pinging passes. I thought Kamal Roof, again, done a very important job being a ball carrier, getting us up at certain points. But big Cedric Itten, man, and I've said it before on this channel, I like this guy and I think he's going to be a fantastic player for us because the last 15 minutes was the Cedric Itten show. Defensively, in there, getting stuck in, winning vital balls, winning headers from set pieces, but getting us up the park, winning us fouls, chewing the clock, getting stuck in the right hand side. It was fantastic, and the fact that we were able to make these changes and see these games when it is nippy bum time without any stress is something we all should be talking about tonight, because once again, Rangers and Steven Gerrard absolutely nailed it. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That is my thoughts and opinions in the game. I know there's Hibs fans out there on that hill greeting about Alfredo Morelos, but honestly, what I think they should be more worried about is their own players and their team look more up for a league game versus Rangers than they did 4 days ago for a semi-final. That is where their priority should lie, no being obsessed with whether Morelos should have been remained on the park or no. From a Rangers side of thing, if you're talking man of the matches, for me the two centre halves were once again absolutely excellent. I thought Tavernier was good with a couple of his deliveries, but as much as I love my man Ryan Jack, and I did think he played an important role in that midfield, I'm giving it to Glenn Kamara. Honestly, I thought he was outstanding from the first whistle to the last. What a performance. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I know this video is uploaded so late, so if you are actually seeing it, I greatly appreciate you taking the time, whether it is in the morning, the afternoon, or the night, for us to sit here and talk about Rangers things with me. If you haven't done so already, please get involved down there in the comment section below. We've been through so much together, so much crap, so to be able to sit here and watch a Rangers team being able to go doing this, let's talk about it down there in the comment section below. And if you did, I'll be speaking to you very, very shortly. But before I wrap up, as always, take care of yourselves, everyone. All the best, and bye.